what is up guys? My name is Oleg, this is Bond. Welcome back to the channel. So recently I purchased one of my dream watches, one of my grails, a Rolex Explorer. And that got me thinking. I never actually did a video telling you guys what are my grail watches. I mentioned them in previous videos here and there, but I never actually sat down and told you my list of grails. So here's that list. On my current grail watch list, there are 9 watches. That's right, I used pen and paper, so it's super official. So as I mentioned, there are 9 watches. However, there's more than 9. I just want to keep this video kind of precise and to the point. And I also broke them down into 3 different categories. The first category are the realistic and more short-term watch grails. So the watches that I am planning to get, hopefully within the next 2 years or so. The second category are dream watches. These are the watches that I'm planning to get or hoping to get in the next 5 to 10 years. Hopefully, they're obviously a little bit more expensive, a little bit harder to find. And the last category are for fun watches. And in this category, I only included 1, but there's probably more that I can think of. First pick, Rolex GMT Master 2. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that this watch was coming. Now the reason why I included it in the realistic category and not the dream watches category is because I'm a little bit flexible with this watch. Meaning, if I cannot get a Rolex GMT Master 2 Pepsi, that's the #1 preference, I also really like the two-tone with the rose gold, the root beer two-tone. GMT Master 2. Also a difficult watch to find, but not as difficult as Pepsi. So a little bit of flexibility with this pick. So yeah, it's probably not gonna happen anytime soon, but it's one of those grail watches that I'm really looking forward to getting. Second watch I'm gonna mention is a Tudor Black Bay 58. Really love that watch. Really love how it fits on my wrist. I actually tried one on. I think the size is excellent. I really love how thin it is. So definitely a watch that I would want to add to my watch collection at some point in the future. Third watch, I'd love to add a Grand Seiko to the collection. SRB series would be the preference. There are so many to choose from. There's the Snowflake, although I think they're a little bit expensive for me to add to the realistic category, but there's so many other ones to choose from. Maybe a GMT, it's SRB M, I think the reference, and then they have a few different variations depending on the color of the dial. So yeah, adding a Grand Seiko to the collection would be fantastic. Fourth watch I'm gonna mention is a vintage Breitling Navy timer. I would love to own one of those. I don't like the current 46mm dials. I like the smaller versions. The 42mm vintage Navy timer would be a dream. I am a huge fan of Breitling as a brand. I don't have any Breitlings in my current collection, and out of all of the different Breitling variations of watches, and they make some great watches, some great, of course, chronographs other than the Navy timer, some great divers, but my favorite, the Grail, is a vintage Navy timer in 42mm, and there are a few different variations to choose from. And a fifth watch would be one of the German brand watches, maybe a Stowa. I like their Bauhaus design watches with the hand-wound movement, 41mm, absolutely stunning watches and not that expensive. You can get them for under $1,500, and it'd be really cool to have a German watch in my collection because currently I don't have any. Those were the short-term / realistic grail watches. Now let's move on to the dreaming category. And here we have 3 different watches. #1, AP Royal Oak, 41mm, stainless steel, blue dial. Do I need to say any more? I absolutely love the look of this watch. I absolutely love the story and the history behind this watch. It's just so iconic, one of the most recognizable watches out there. And one day I'm hoping to get one of these bad boys on my wrist. Second watch in the dreaming category is a Rolex Day-Date President. I would go for the 40mm, yellow gold, champagne dial, the classic. I absolutely love the way this watch looks on the wrist. It has such an iconic, timeless design. It would be really awesome to have one of these watches on my wrist, especially as I get older. I think yellow gold looks really good, especially if you're a little bit of an older gentleman. So that's definitely a grail for the future. And the third watch I'm gonna mention in this dreaming watches category is a Patek Philippe reference 3940 perpetual calendar. I actually reviewed a watch like this, the perpetual calendar. I think the reference of that one was 3945. I'll leave a link in the description below. And that watch blew me away. Yellow gold, and the elegance of it, the design of it, the way it fits on the wrist is just fantastic. It's a Patek, of course, it has that name, and it would be incredible to have a Patek in my collection at some point in the future. But just what that watch represents and how classic it is and how beautiful it is to look at, it's a perfect dress watch in my opinion. It's a dream dress watch in my opinion. So that kind of rounds up my 3 dream watches for the future category. And finally, my fun watch category. In this category, I only have one watch, and it's Hublot, the Spirit of Big Bang Titanium. Now let me explain, because I know you're typing those angry comments. You're probably thinking, Oleg, you have lost your mind. What are you talking about Hublot? Well, let me explain. Number one, I reviewed this watch in the past, and one of my really good friends owns this watch, and honestly, I love it. It's so over the top, it's so crazy, that it's just unbeatable in terms of how outlandish and over the top it looks. However, it still has a fantastic movement based on Zenith El Primero, one of the best chronograph movements out there. It has a titanium case, so it's very light watch, and the design of the dial is absolutely stunning if you're into that design. One day I will add this watch to my watch collection, and even though a lot of people hate it, I love it. So that's it. That's the list of my current Grail watches. I appreciate you watching this video all the way until the end. I know I've been rambling a lot, but you stuck with me, and I do appreciate that. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my Grail watch collection, and let me know what I'm missing, what watches I'm missing from my Grail watches. What are some of your Grail watches? Leave all those thoughts below. I always enjoy reading your comments. By the way, I want to mention something. I know I've been slacking with the replies to comments. I do apologize about that. I've been practicing for a race that I did last weekend. Now I have a little bit more time, so I can catch up with all the comments by the end of this week. I promise that. On my wrist today, I'm wearing an Oris Aquas. I bought this watch about 2 months ago. Still haven't done a review. That's coming soon. I will leave a link in the description about the background story of this purchase. Also in the description, there is a secret link. Have a look if you're curious. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.